Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Fiery Salient. Yes, that's a map that's long gone now, pre-HD. And this one is under the command of Oxagon of Brave. Game on. Well, as you can see, it's the 8-inch howitzer, which means this is the M55. And with these shells, he's capable of doing 1,850 and also 102 millimeters of pen. He's also got armor piercing, which is capable of 1,450. And you can see more pen as well. Okay, he's decided he's going to take it off to the west side of the map. And yes, Fiery Salient is the Prokhorovka map, but in a different format. Back then, of course, there was tanks on fire, as if the Battle of Kursk had just taken place. And yes, it does look rather different, doesn't it? He's decided to join this batch at 155.58. And of course, back then, he was a 4-shot autoloader. Okay, looking for the enemy. One's been spotted going up the hill. And we can also see an AMX 1390 making his way on just the other side of the battlefield. Now, this is a client from 2014, a year after the 8.9 client that you saw in the previous battle with the M40, M43. It's the 9.3 client. You can see there Oxagon switched over to the other side of the battlefield, going after the T57 Heavy. Let's get the team lists up as well, because we weren't showing that. That's better.
Critical hit.
He gets a direct hit on the T57 Heavy. Now, it's much more difficult to see the traces from the Arty back then as well. So counter battery was really difficult. You could see that Batchat just firing, and you could barely see anything coming out the barrel, but just a faint trace further up the battlefield, a Wizzy 120. The enemy Arty in this game is also another Batchat 155.58. A Batchat 155.55 and a GW Tiger. Back then, you could have more than one Arty in a game. In fact, you could actually have as many as 7 Arty in a game, or even more, just depending on how many people actually applied to join a game in Arty. Got a Tiger 2 lined up, rounds out. Oh, one-shot kill, 1,600 hit points. Now, this is a Tier 10 game with Tier 8 tanks in it, and he just wiped out a Tier 8 Heavy with 1 round. Direct hit on the side, went straight through. Of course, that would have been a very, very nice high roll. Okay, we've now got an E100 coming up the hill. This is going to be a little more difficult to wipe out with 1 round because, of course, he has side skirts to protect him from enemy Arty fire. Now, Silver Edge is going to stop and move forward again. He does, rounds out.
That was close.
Well, it landed just in front of him. Not a direct hit, but I think the Batchat's firing in the same direction. Because Jaegeru making his way down the battlefield. We're almost reloaded. Rounds out.
Critical hit.
Well, yes, that certainly hurt him. It was a non-penetrating shot, but it's over 600 hit points. Now, back then, I believe the standard reload for the M53, M55 was something like 40.27 seconds. But of course, you could reduce that with the rammer and, of course, a good crew. That Wizzy 120 is in the position where the bowl is located now. Oh, went over the top of him. Nothing in sight. We've only got one tank on the hill, though. That might be a bit of a problem. Rounds out.
That was close.
That's better. 591 hit points. And the T-62A goes in for the ram, but it's the Centurion that gets the kill shot. Now, the good news is that we can see some of the enemy tanks on the other side of the battlefield. The bad news is we've lost the hill. And in fact, our other Arty is over near the railway line, so he's going to have to move out of there quick and get over to this side of the battlefield. It's a batch at 155.55, so if he doesn't get a move on, he could end up... Yes, they're trying to tell him to move. Oxagon's indicating he's in danger. You can see the different battlefield with all the wrecked tanks around. Near miss on the IS-8. Unfortunately, our friendly Arty hasn't moved, and he has been joined by one of our heavy tanks, but the problem is that if he doesn't get a move on soon, he is going to meet some of the enemy heavies. Lining up a shot on that IS-8, but he's moving rather rapidly. Okay, he's over the ridge line, coming for the center, rounds out, and...
Critical hit.
Oh my god, he got a hit! Direct hit on the IS-8 stopped him. I think he tracked him. And the enemy Arty's in sight now, and they're being taken out. Okay, they've lost their GW Tiger. Our T-62A is about to go down, I think. IS-8's moving in. Yes, he gets a ram kill. We go after the IS-8. Oh, and he blew up before our shell arrived, so we didn't get the kill there on the SU-101 did instead. In the meantime, the E-75's been spotted. Now, I had the feeling that the enemy tanks that were on the hill have actually come down and they've gone straight to the railway line. And that's where Oxagon's aiming now. A Waffenträger auf Panzer IV and a Batchat 25 ton. Well, the Batchat 25 ton goes down to our SU-101. He's got his second kill.
Penetration.
Wow, that was a good hit. Waffenträger's very thin armor, so a round like that's going to do a huge amount of damage. But the enemy still has tanks in the northwest corner of the map. According to the tank list, they do have an E100, an AMX-50 120, an E75 Leopard prototype, which we can see here is now challenging our T-57 Heavy. He took out the Batchat 155.55, or at least he got spotted and taken out. And we're going for the Leopard. Rounds out. Oh, one-shot kill. The Leopard's gone. That's the second kill for Oxagon. And they're getting quite, how should we say, fruity suggestions to get a move on in chat. I think some of the players are a little disappointed. Okay, E100 on the other side of the railway line. Difficult to get a shot because, of course, the railway carriages get in the way, but we're going to give it a go. Rounds out. It hits the railway carriages instead. Makes a very satisfying bang, but unfortunately, no kill. There's 5 left on either team. Yes, I think the SU-101 was receiving some friendly fire from one of his teammates in the E100, and he's getting a bit miffed. He's a bit concerned that he's about to turn blue, or rather, the others are suggesting he will turn blue if he keeps shooting his own teammates. Of course, now that friendly fire is no longer allowed in the game, you can't turn blue. Well, you can turn blue, but you can't do any damage to your teammates in the process. Well, the enemy just lost their Waffenträger of Panzervier. His last remaining hit points have gone. So, with just 4 left on the enemy team, one of those is an Arty. Question is, where are they? We know the E100 was seen heading south, the other side of the railway line, but we haven't spotted him. We know the E75 was last seen in the northwest corner of the map, but I don't think he's up there on his own because there was a lot of fire coming from that direction. And there is the E100. Okay, we're dialing in as quickly as we can. Oxagon wants another kill. Rams out.
Gotcha.
And he gets it. 3 kills now. So with 2 minutes 45 seconds left on the clock, there's only 3 enemies remaining now. 2 heavy tanks and their batch at 155-58. And I have a very strong feeling they are up in the northwest corner of the map. And our team just didn't go ahead and push in that direction because of the E75. Well, we found one of them, and it's the AMX 5120. And he gets wiped out by our E100. E100. Let's have a look. And the SU-101 is encouraging them all to continue to fight. Okay, there's the E75. Lined up. Rounds out. Looks good. Yes! 1 shot. 723. Well, it's not a proper 1-shot kill. It didn't wipe out the tank with just 1 round. He had suffered damage already. But that means now there's only 1 enemy left. It's the Batchat 155-58. And the SU-101's very... well, he's very pleased, and he's rushing forward as fast as he can to try and find that last enemy. Of course, he needs to watch out because the Batchat 155-58 back then had a 4-shot autoloader, and those shells did load very quickly indeed. So if he doesn't get killed with the first one, he might get killed with the subsequent one. We've only got 1 round of HE left, but we've got other shells. They think that the enemy might be next to the railway line. Now back then there was a little area over here where you could hide amongst the trees. But it looks like our teammates are actually going over to Cap. And unfortunately, the Batchat has been found, but he's right over the other side of the battlefield, and we haven't got the range to shoot him from here. So we're having to move forward as quickly as we can to get it within range. Or at least, is Oxagon moving? I'm not sure if he is. Rounds out. Oh! On the move. And that's a kill. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Oxagon of Brave in the M53, M55. In fact, I can tell you, it was his first ace tanker. Yes, we uploaded this to Salty Jedi, and it did show that this was his first one. He also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12. He got a Gorse medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And he got a high caliber in this game as well for dealing the most damage in the game. His win rate, 16,060, which is Super Unicum and a lot more. And I think if we look at some of these scores, I think you'll get an impression of exactly how devastating it was. 813 hit points on the E100. The E75, 723 hit points and a penetration. The Leopard, 1,550 hit points, and he penned him. The T57 Heavy, he penned him with 854. The T10, 662, and he penned him. The Jaegeru, 674 hit points, and he penned him too. The Tiger 2, he wiped out with just one shot. 1,600 hit points, 1 penetration. The Wizzy 120, he splashed. And the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV, 1,538 hit points, and that was a pen as well. Let's have a look at the details, because we have to go back to this page. And we can see that he definitely got the highest damage in the game. 8,723 hit points of damage from that one. The next highest scorer turned out to be the Batchatinion 155, 50, is it the 58? Yes, on the enemy team. He managed to pick up 4,079 hit points of damage. And the third highest damage was the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV with 3,348. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 4. 3 kills went to the 155-58, and 2 kills went to the T57 Heavy, the SU-101, the E100, and the T62A on his own team, and on the enemy team, their AMX 5120 and their Waffenträger auf Panzer IV. When it came to base XP, he was the only one to get over 1,000 base. He got 1,290, which means he got the top in all 3 columns on his first ace tanker. 881 went to the T62A, and 738 went to the T57 Heavy. He fired 15 rounds, got 7 direct hits on the enemy, 7 penetrations, and 5 splash. Damage of 8,723, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 4 of them, and did 271 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium account, he made a profit of 33,170 credits for the game, and 2,902 experience points as well. So a phenomenal first ace game in the M53, M55 for Oxagon. Congratulations, that this was back in October of 2014. Yes, I'm sorry, but it was 9 years ago, or nearly 9 years, about 8.5 at the moment. But it was a long time ago, but it was a very impressive win on the Fiery Salient map. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.